Hey folks, I was just looking over my copy of the first issue of Final Crisis. I bought exactly 2 comics that were direct tie-ins to Final Crisis. The first issue and the last issue. For everything I've read and heard, that may have been 2 issues too many. Maybe I'm looking at the past through rose-colored glasses, but it seems like the crossovers of the past were so much more. Not to say that there haven't been some good ones of recent vintage. There have been. Which ones stand out? Well, stay tuned, because that's our topic for this episode of the Four-Kolor Kitty. Crossover events, where a story spans more than a single comic series. I'm not talking about a casual meeting of Batman with Superman. I mean when there's an event so big, it touches and influences many comic series. This episode, I'm going to change things up a bit and present my list of what I consider the top 14 memorable crossover events. If you're wondering why 14, there is a very good reason. I just happened to come up with 14. Here we go! Number 14, Inferno. Starting our countdown is an event from Marvel called Inferno. This was pretty much limited in scope to the various X-teams, though other big names such as Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, Daredevil, and the Avengers get caught up in this. When Magic becomes the ruler of the dimension of Limbo, home to demonic forces, one of the demons has plans of his own. He creates a portal between Earth and Limbo, allowing the demon horde to escape and wreak havoc in New York. The city starts to become hot, and its people more dark in nature. Alright, by law I'm required to tell the following joke. Of course. How could they tell the difference? Right, moving on. By the end of the series, there had only been a few real changes in the Marvel Universe. Of minor concern was Madeline Pryor, former wife of longtime X-Men member Cyclops and clone of Jean Grey, became the villainess known as the Goblin Queen. A more major outcome was that the New Mutant member Magic, through a time paradox, was reduced to a child of 7, with her past history as Magic wiped clean, except in the memories of her teammates. While not earth-shattering, it was still a fun romp, and earns the number 14 spot. Number 13, Day of Judgment. While it may sound like DC was copying Marvel, this crossover event happened many years afterwards, and while it does share some similarities, it doesn't feel like it was lifted. Once again, we have an up-and-coming demon, this time from Hell proper. He is a rival to the Ryman demon called Etrigan. Etrigan decides to take the then-hostless Spectre and bond him to the renegade angel known as Asmodel and... Well, let me see if I can sum this up a bit. Basically, the combined fallen angel and Spectre freeze Hell over, causing not only many sports teams to start winning games, but also letting out the various demons and evil souls that were there onto the Earth. Earth heroes have to fight back against the devilish tide, and eventually a new host for the Spectre is chosen, marking the return of Hal Jordan, who was dead at the time. This crossover let DC show off and bring to the forefront It's magic-based characters, something that is quite often overlooked in the modern age of comics. Day of Judgment sits well at the superstitious 13th place on the countdown. Number 12, Our Worlds at War. This one started in the Superman comic books, where the Man of Steel learns about a cosmic force known as Imperiex. This entity believes that the universe has an imperfection to it, so he plans to cleanse it and start again from scratch. He does this by going about destroying solar system after solar system. Superman first believes that, after a tough battle, he has defeated him. He later discovers, from the son and daughter of a deceased foe, Mongol, that what he destroyed was simply a probe, and that the real deal is much more powerful. What we end up with is a multifaceted battle. We have Earth battling for survival, Warworld, Apocalypse, and the sentient computer virus from the future called Brainiac 13, all wanting to defeat Imperiex to gain his power for their own, and Imperiex trying to eliminate anyone and anything in its path. War may be hell, but it also makes for exciting reading. Our Worlds at War takes number 12. Number 11, House of M. House of M took a well-established plot point regarding the X-Men books and did a 180-degree turn with it. It has long been established that the mutants are the minority and are often treated with fear and hatred. In House of M, the mutant known as the Scarlet Witch is having a mental breakdown. Considering her powers can rewrite history, this is a major crisis. As her former teammates come to where she is being held to speak with her before deciding what is to be done, a flash of white light surrounds them, and the world reshapes itself. Now mutants are the majority, with Magneto as the head of the main ruling family of the new world. Some superheroes now lead ordinary lives. Others are now agents of the House of Magnus. While most heroes don't remember their real lives, one does. Wolverine. He goes to seek out those who can help him put the world back to the way it was. I'm a sucker for an alternate reality story, and this one has a lot of fun showing us what might have been if things were different. The House of M finds a home at number 11. Number 10, Acts of Vengeance. Acts of Vengeance is the story of a rather great idea for an evil master plan. A stranger approaches a collection of master villains, the Kingpin, Dr. Doom, and the Red Skull. He also gets a couple of B-level villains, the Mandarin and the Wizard. Posing as their loyal lackey, he then arranges for a massive jailbreak from the vault, where superpowered criminals are sent. What makes this so different from the other times we've had master criminals sent out villainous teams? Well, the stranger points out that usually each villain tends to target certain heroes, which has led them to being defeated time and again. However, if they switch targets, they gain the element of surprise. Not a bad bit of thinking. It was refreshing seeing villains being mixed and matched with new sparring partners. It also had some downright hilarious moments, such as when the Fantastic Four had to battle a series of D-level villains, which were treated as more of a bother than a real threat to them. Acts of Vengeance, switching its way to number 10.